AM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
Rico here with HIS Auto Care at 70th and Van Dorn, letting you know HIS is a great place to bring your vehicle for service. With superior service bumper to bumper, we'll treat your vehicle like it's your mother's. Doesn't get any better than that. So call 402-488-8934 and HIS Auto will make you glad you did. 5% off, mention this ad, and for sure your mother will be proud you called. 402-488-8934, HIS Auto Care, 70th and Van Dorn. God bless you.
Bagels and Joe is the perfect place for breakfast or lunch in December. Try the Cubano panini with ham, applewood smoked pork loin, and more. Order a caramel latte this month, and 10% of proceeds will go to the APACE Foundation. 4 locations in Lincoln and 1 in Seward. Bagels and Joe. Golfing in 72 degrees and perfect conditions in Nebraska doesn't seem possible in December, but it is. Double Eagle Golf is your escape from the bone-chilling cold outside and a reason to keep your clubs out year-round. Book your holiday parties at Double Eagle Golf and make plans to join them for a New Year's Eve party. Gift cards make a great stocking stuffer for Christmas, and don't forget to look ahead to 2024 as spring leagues begin in February. That's all at Double Eagle Golf, inside the Kinetic Sports Complex on West O Street, online at doubleeagle.golf.
This is Rick Heyman from Sartor Heyman Jewelers, inviting you to our new outlet jewelry store at 12th and O in downtown Lincoln. Amazingly, we still have fabulous items we bought 1 year ago and beyond. Well, you know what an outlet store is. Unbeatable prices throughout the store. Closeouts up to 70% off. Don't delay. When it's gone, it's gone. You won't see everything on our website, so you gotta come in. The Outlet by Sartor Heyman, where luxury and affordability meet. Opening November 25th in Lincoln at 12th and O.
Sunday morning. It's quiet. Not in a weird, too quiet way. Calm, peaceful, tranquil. You pour yourself that cup of coffee. You slice yourself a hearty chunk of one of Beatrice Bakery's breakfast breads. Now, maybe you're an apple streusel guy. Nothing wrong with that. I can respect that. Personally, I'm a turtle nut man. Something about those pecans. But the real ones know, don't sleep on that date nut bread. Sweet, but not too sweet. Nutty, not overly. The perfect morning treat. Beatrice Bakery. Online at beatricebakery.com. Welcome to our world of yum.
Victor deployed for the first time to Afghanistan in 2003. At 4 a.m, my phone rang. They said, "I regret to inform you that your husband was wounded in action." Victor sustained a moderate traumatic brain injury. I was doing school full-time, and I was also then caring for Victor. One of the most important elements of caregiving is taking care of yourself. I just didn't want to forget that I also had goals and that I also had a life. What I did is I challenged Victor to meet me halfway. There are almost 6 million military and veteran caregivers across the nation. We have our own journey, and we can fulfill that journey at the same time that we are helping our loved one.
Visit aarp.org/caregiving for a free military veterans guide to navigate your caregiving journey and better care for your loved one and yourself. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
Sometimes I just cannot believe all the storms we've gone through here. I can only hope that we'll be able to leave this house to you one day, baby. You're our legacy.
Planning for these disasters will make sure we're safe, and is the best way to protect that legacy.
Protect your legacy. Visit ready.gov/plan for the tools and tips you need to start your emergency preparedness plan today. Brought to you by FEMA and the Ad Council.
Welcome into The Breeze with DP and Haas on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
All right, welcome back into Ticket Weekends. This is The Breeze. I'm Harrison on the ones and twos. No DP in today, but we do got Haas on this Sunday, December 10th. Pretty nice weather still, knocking on wood there. We know what January and February brings regardless, but we'll take the nice weather. Haas, how's it going on this Sunday?
Great. Happy Sunday.
All right, say that one more time. Sorry. We had a microphone problem going on there.
No worries. Said, great. Happy Sunday.
Yeah, it's been a lot of fun. Obviously, a lot of things over the weekend. We had the Heisman. Shout out to Jane Daniels. I thought it was the right choice there. Maybe you can argue for Michael Penix Jr., but numbers-wise, I think if you give Jane Daniels a better LSU defense, that only adds to his time of possession, and his numbers were close, if not better, in certain categories to Joe Burrow. It'd be hard not to give him that way. shout out Nebraska volleyball, got another big win. Arkansas, they looked pretty impressive. I don't know if you watched that, Haas, but they had a 5'7" outside hitter on Arkansas. She could jump out the gym. Her vertical had to be 35 inches. It was insane. Because I was watching her and she kept being up in the front. I was like, what's she doing up there? She doesn't belong. But incredibly impressed by Arkansas. Good run. But Nebraska continues on. They'll be playing Pitt. And of course, Nebraska hoops, they got Michigan State tonight. Plenty of things going on. And of course, there's college football playoffs and the controversy that still gets talked about as Florida State's on the outside looking in. But eventful weekend nonetheless. Haas, what do you want to dive into here first?
It's interesting you said 35-inch vertical. I'm curious, what's the highest vertical for a female? And if anyone's like, he's downplaying a female being able to have a 44-inch vertical. Physically, men and women are different. I'm wearing a WNBA sweatshirt. It's coincidental. I'm a girl dad. And to me, a 35-inch vertical is very significant. So I don't know if you're exaggerating or not, but wow, that's really cool. Where's Nebraska? Still undefeated in women's volleyball?
Well, they're not undefeated. They would take a loss in the regular season of Wisconsin, but they already had the Big Ten one. But yeah, undefeated up until that point. Obviously, they haven't lost in the tournament. Yeah, but Wisconsin did catch one before the end of the regular season. In some ways, that's almost better.
Yeah,
I'll be honest. Like if I'm undefeated, like what do you think? Is that tougher to have hanging over your head, or would you rather just get that loss out of the way and get back to winning?
No, the adversity from losing definitely makes you hungrier. It also takes the pressure off, but it refocuses you, it resets you, it could humble you. There's so many things that comes with losing once, and I'd much rather lose before the Super Bowl, before the championship. I'd rather lose in the regular season to be like, okay, maybe I should try a little bit harder in practice. Maybe I should train a little bit differently, eat a little differently. Losing's good for you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. And I'm looking at this right now, trying to figure out the highest jump. And this is for volleyball players. And they say anywhere between like 35 is impressive for men. And then for girls, anything above 25 inches is impressive. Trying to find the record right now. We do have, oh man, it's all, I'm going to have to do some quick, it's all in centimeters here. So I have to work on my math skills. I'm not getting the absolute best here. We're looking about 196 centimeters, 127. Trying to find the best of the best, though. These are going back in time. I'm curious to find what the best.
Not 196. That can't be right.
390 centimeters spike height, which is currently okay. This is for spike height, though. So we'll have to find. I want to get some actual numbers on this. This feels like it's just kind of ballpark numbers. So maybe during the break, we'll try to figure out what the highest vertical was for a girl. In particular, even better if we can find a volleyball stat. But those look like more of just a ballpark of some of the highs they've seen adding to it. But yeah, nonetheless, it's incredible. And I'm not kidding. She was 5'7", and she was getting plenty over the net. So I'd love to be curious. I bet you I can find her vertical on Arkansas's website or some of her stats, because it is unbelievable how athletic she was. But you did mention the WNBA. I want to hear your thoughts on that, because we talked about this actually on We Talk Facts with Eric Strickland and Cluster Johnson, and they were trying to figure out, how do you get people invested into the WNBA? Because right now the demographic, the most people that actually watch WNBA are actually guys. It's actually older guys, usually above their 40s. Like, that's actually the biggest demographic for WNBA. How do you get that demographic to the girls? Because I feel like that's the group you're trying to target. Or maybe I'm wrong. Maybe you can double down and try to get guys to watch, both NBA and WNBA.
So who's their commissioner would be the first thing, because if Adam Silver was in charge, then something would happen with the WNBA that would be exciting. So Adam Silver changed the All-Star game. Adam Silver changed the in-season tournament, which at first I was like, what is this? Why are you doing something in December? Why are you doing something in late November? And I'm not saying this because the Lakers won. I'm saying this because a week ago, Sacramento was playing Golden State, and the winner got to go on to the tournament if they won by a certain amount. Yep. So Golden State had to win by about 12 or 13 points to go on to the next round. And so Golden State was up 6 with a minute to go, and they come down the court and they jack up threes. You're up 6 with a minute to go. As a coach, you don't do that. You You play the foul game, you stall, you do all these things. Well, Golden State ended up losing the game. And the reason why the game was different was because they had to win by 12. So technically it didn't matter. They had to win. And so now there's the L for the regular season and so on and so forth. And it happened because the people in the tournament wanted to win the tournament, as long as they weren't the Wizards or the Pistons or teams like that. They wanted to win the tournament.
Mm-hmm.
There was a different level of play. Or the Bulls. The Bulls didn't want to win the tournament either. So
they don't want to win anything these days. Go ahead.
The teams that were playing to the end, and some of the players were offended by it. But what's going to happen if I'm a fan and you see your better players playing in the game 38 minutes because there was $500,000 on the line? Your better players playing 42 minutes because there was $500,000 on the line. It changed the game. It changed the narrative. So creating this in-season tournament, creating this excitement, this buzz in December when basketball is boring.
Mm-hmm.
Basketball is usually fun after spring break. Basketball is usually fun in May, in June. The NBA is not fun until March Madness is over. And so for it to be fun in December, that's really impressive. So if you could bring Adam Silver to the WNBA and create some ideas, I know Kobe Bryant, LeBron, a lot of the guys are trying to be involved with the WNBA.
Yeah, Tatum too has been really big on it. Like you said, a lot of these NBA players are pushing it, trying to get people invested.
And having Candace Parker be a part of the NBA helps. So having her, she's the healthy Anthony Davis skilled version player.
Yeah.
If you remember 2 years ago saying you were like Anthony Davis meant something, well, he got 41, 25, sold popcorn, did a bunch of stuff yesterday in a game that doesn't count. In a game that doesn't count. The one game that statistically didn't count was the championship game.
The 83rd.
I will say this. Here's the one caveat you should do to make the championship game matter. If you have a game that you didn't like your regular season stats, you can replace it with the championship game stats, whatever game you want. That's the free pass that you get. So if you're playing a card game and here's a card that you draw, well, here's the championship game in-season tournament card that you drew. You can keep the stats from that game and erase it with the worst game that you had. Now, if you had a bad game or if you didn't play, fine, it doesn't count. But if you're Anthony Davis and you got teed up in the first quarter during one of the regular season games and your stats were 2 points, five rebounds, and 3 turnovers, and you didn't play the rest of the game, you can erase it and use this 41, 25, and 5. That's an idea.
Nice. I would say this, real quick, just because I'm agree with you. I thought this midseason tournament was going to be a disaster. I was like, there's no way you're going to get these elite players motivated to play in a tournament that literally means nothing other than here's an extra paycheck. But as far as like what does a guy like LeBron really need to gun for? He's got money on hand. But I mean, hey, $500,000 is a lot of money. So maybe I was downplaying the number too much. And of course, LeBron, he's going to find his way to get his hands on that trophy, to be the first person to get his hands on the trophy. And another real quick, I got to shout out Donald helping us out here. So we're talking about Nebraska volleyball, right? Or just volleyball in general, trying to find the vertical. So that Arkansas player, she was 5'7", not sure what his vertical was, but it had to have been an insane number. He found this on a vertical on male, female volleyball players on their verticals. Rita Crockett, 1983. She was 5'8", 38-inch standing vertical. She went from 24 inches to 38 in 1 year.
What?
It's like, that's what I'm saying. Like 5'7", like there's some girls out there that could jump out of the gym. And what I was watching yesterday, I've got to find her numbers because I was like, oh my God, the amount of power she was getting. So that's a real quick side note. Shout out to Donald for doing the research for me while I'm talking on air here. But again, yeah, that's why you got to shout out those players because it's an incredible feat. But back to the midseason tournament, I thought it'd be a disaster. I couldn't imagine getting players hyped for it. I was wrong. Kevin Durant, after he gets beat by Haas's Lakers, he talks about, yeah, I was completely against this idea. I thought it'd be terrible. Essentially, I'm paraphrasing here, but he talked about how much intensity it added to the games and how he couldn't wait to watch the finals. He just got eliminated, but he was so eager to watch how it turned out. And obviously the Pacers, makes a little more sense why they're into it, right? That's a younger team on average, contract-wise. $500,000 to some of those guys is about half of what their actual end of the year contract's going to look like. So that $500 million to them, you could see it. They were on their feet throughout that entire tournament. Even when they got $100K for getting into the semifinals, those guys were losing their minds. And then it gives you a chance to watch an Indiana Pacers team who, let's be honest, they're not going to be on national television a lot. That's a small market. Tyrese Halliburton, that team, that is a really fun team to watch. So it also gives a nice little spotlight to maybe some of the teams you're not paying attention to a Pacers who early on have been one of the more impressive, fun teams to watch, with Tyrese Halliburton, who right now is averaging an insane double-double. It's about 27 points and about 12 assists per game. If you round it up, it's about 0.8 and 0.9. So about 28 and 12 assist game, night in, night out, on a high, fast-paced offense where they're literally giving you the paint, taking away the three, just because if they can get Miles Turner to challenge at the rim, it can turn into a quick transition bucket on the other side. They're all offense. They give up on defense simply to score faster on offense. It is such a fun team to watch right now. I'm really bummed. I was hoping they could take down the Lakers, but you know, you see what LeBron's like when he gets into playoffs and brackets. LeBron's going to give it his all, and Lakers are scaring me a little bit. Winning the midseason tournament, I do think it is a somewhat of a litmus test to see where the rest of the league's sitting at. And the Lakers, no surprise, find a way to get it done. But yeah, it'll be back. Rework the points, as you said. I think that's ugly to watch. I don't think you need to figure a way that you're not just trying to put it on another team at the end of a game just so you can get in on a point differential. But at the same time,
that was cool. That's how the Suns got in.
Yeah, I don't know if I like that. We're just trying to put up points. Because like you said, it turns into game situations that are unrealistic because the Warriors would have won that in any normal game. I just like that it was different. The Suns put in work. I don't remember who it was, but they went and blew out a team. And now Mavericks.
it's like,
I think it was the Mavericks. I think they beat them by like something ridiculous. I think it might have been like a 30, 40-point game.
yeah. And that was the only reason they had a +1 point differential for the longest time because of it. And it's like, oh, come on. Couldn't you play any defense?
A little silly. But it is it's interesting to watch, right? And I will say this. What do you think about that play-in team having some sort of guaranteed playoff spot? Whether it's the A seed or like you're guaranteed if you lose every single game on the way out of this tournament after you've won, you still get a play-in spot no matter what in your whichever conference you came from.
Is that a rule?
No, but I think it should be. I think that'd be a fun wrinkle. It's like whoever wins this, guess what? They're in the playoffs no matter how bad they suck for the rest of the season.
They definitely should do that. 100%.
Right? Like that add a lot more skin to the game.
100%.
Like I think that's probably the best tweak. I'd say maybe even make it the 8th seed, so you still have to go in the play-ins, but you're
guaranteed a 10. You're guaranteed a 10.
Okay. Yeah. Just because I feel like I wonder how cool that'd be if the team that wins, it's probably not going to be a team that's staring down 10, but it could happen and it could be a fun year, right? But other than that, I think that's probably the best mid-season tournament expectations I could have had. It went way better than I thought. One complaint: fix the damn courts. Those things are such an eyesore to look at.
Oh yeah, they hurt my
even
head.
The Lakers was really ugly. The championship with the red and blue. Yeah. It reminded me of like Boise's football field, like that blue turf. It's just too much.
Well, that was Vegas, but no, it definitely hurt my head. I couldn't understand who the players were on the Lakers with their jerseys. That was really hard. So not the last game, but the home game they had against the Suns. It's like, oh, that's Hachimura because the mask, I think, I can't read, it's 28. And I know every player on the Lakers well, so fine. One thing that came to my mind when you said you get a guarantee to be in the playoffs, teams tank. They definitely tank. Mm-hmm. So Dallas tanked because they wanted to have their own draft pick last year. So they could have made the playoffs with Kyrie and Luka, and they made sure to rest them at the end of the year, despite being still in the playoff hunt, so that the Knicks couldn't get that top 10 protected pick. So if the Mavericks last year were in this play-in tournament and they won the play-in tournament, but still had the record of a bottom team, then that's one way to play hard. So the Pistons, for example, if they're not tanking, maybe they are actually tanking. What if the Pistons played all out and won this play-in tournament were 5-77 or whatever the record would be.
It might be. It's pretty rough right now. The Cade Cunningham experiment is we'll see what happens. But go ahead.
But if you're really just playing poorly so you could tank and get a better pick, well, now you're finding incentives not to tank. So that to me in itself is awesome.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, it definitely saved Mark Cuban from a lot of the heat he got last year for doing that little stunt where they just obviously say we're not shooting for the playoffs. Upset a lot of players out there when they're going to watch the game and Luka and Kyrie's not there starting on the court together, or Luka plays for the 5 minutes and subbed out in the first, or doesn't get into the game until the second quarter. Because that was unfortunate for the Mavericks, their fans, and also the league. It was a little uncomfortable for the league to kind of handle that situation because that was a little unique. A team that had a shot with elite players said, we'll pass. We'll wait till next year. It put a sour taste in a lot of people's mouths. So maybe if you did have that guaranteed play-in spot, that's a way where down the stretch, if you don't think you have a good shot, but you're still locked in on that play-in, that could work. I could sign up for that because the Mavericks, I just remember last year, the amount of slack they got for pulling that stunt, the amount of press conferences where Mark Cuban was kind of getting grilled and had to answer about that decision-making behind it. And for the awkward situation with the coaches and the post-game pressers, that basically just wanted to say we're tanking, but you can't say we're tanking. They'd have to make up some weird excuse where, yeah, Luka's groin was a little tight in the first quarter, and everyone's just calling BS on it, and rightfully so. It could save you from some of those awkward PR moments that Mark Cuban was definitely having consistently at the end of the season.
Well, another thing came to mind. As a coach, you try to put incentives out there or goals out there to motivate your players. So let's say scoring the most or winning by X amount isn't the priority as a coach. It could be who gets the most rebounds, who sets the most screens, who has the most deflections. And so you put those goals out on the board, and whoever does it gets something, or it just gets the praise. Well, if you're trying to get certain months more exciting, now that you see that the money does the motivation that it did, you could say most wins in January, that team gets $2 million. Or $4 million or whatever the goal is to incentivize teams in the boring months of their season. That's the way to do it, knowing that the money worked.
We're cooking now, Haas. That's a great point. The money worked. You could really set that up a lot. Like, yeah, get those teams, especially like you're talking about early season when college football playoffs are going on, when the NFL is really picking up right now. Like you got Dallas Cowboys versus the Eagles. How many people are going to be watching NBA tonight, and how many people are going to be watching NFL? It's pretty obvious there's going to be a disparity, but this is a good way. And if you can get that money incentive in there, because it definitely worked. The intensity was up. Before we go to break, Haas, I got to ask you a important question that's on the minds of a lot of the NBA fanatics, the ones who love the history of the NBA and care about all the elements. Who had the better flu game, Michael Jordan or AR-15?
I don't even know what AR-15 did. Was he
Austin
sick
Reeves?
last night?
Yeah.
I know who he is. Was he sick last night?
Supposedly sick, yeah.
Oh, whatever. Stop it.
LeBron after the game asked the media, he said, who had the better flu game, MJ
stop
or AR?
it. Stop it.
I figured you'd be all over that because I know you love Austin Reeves. But yeah, I will tell you this. What do you think?
LeBron, stop it.
Hey, he's good at that. He stirs the media. Leave it to LeBron to ask the thought-provoking questions. But what do you think about Austin Reeves so far? Because he had a little bit of a sloppy start, but now it looks like he's picking it up again. Like, what's the ceiling on him?
Ceiling?
Yeah, can he be like the number 2 guy, like next to AD at times? Like if AD is coming in weak, can he be that 2 next to LeBron in a playoff situation?
The problem is he does so many little things right. So he's not flashy.
Mm-hmm.
He's not going to go and cross people up and drop 60. Now, I will say this. When they played the Suns, they were up 1. And LeBron passed them the ball, and LeBron expected the ball back to him, and there's 30 seconds left. And Reeves just pulled a really long 3 and buried it. And it's like,
awesome. It was awesome.
If he missed that, he might have been traded. But with how into the game LeBron was, because LeBron was touching the ball on every play.
Yep.
So he's like, all right, let me give it to him. Let me take a second off. Let me figure out how I'm going to switch defenders so I can have Grayson Allen guarding me. And Reeves just looks up and he's like, I have Grayson Allen guarding me and going towards LeBron. And over there's Durant, not even that close to me. I'm just going to pull this. And then he's him. He's him.
Drilled it. It was funny too, because you talk about it, right? Like with LeBron James, he loves giving it to Reeves because Reeves always makes the right read. Like you said, like he's going to find a way to get it back to him. Reeves this time said, "No, I got it. I'll call game right here. Pull up three." It was an awesome three, and definitely got the crowd fired up here. But we do got to go ahead and throw it to our first break here on The Breeze. I'm Harrison, and we got Haas streaming in. Host as always. You guys can join in as well. Starter Heyman text line 402-464-5685. We do have John in Cortland. He says, pay NBA players more to get them to play harder. How about cut their damn pay when they don't? Interesting technique right there. Could be fair, right? Those load management games might hurt a little more if they're not paying you for that. But nonetheless, you guys can feel free to join the show, 402-464-5685. Maybe we'll talk some more NBA. Maybe we transition to wrestling, college football, or you guys can always comment and we can go off that as well. But don't go anywhere. We got a couple more segments. We'll be right back.
Have you seen the new Nebraska Lottery Holiday Classic scratch tickets?
Did you say holiday?
Yeah.
I love the holidays.
Okay, well, these new scratch tickets have...
Did you say scratch tickets?
That's right.
I love Nebraska Lottery scratch tickets.
And who wouldn't? They make great stocking stuffers, plus they're fast, fun, and easy.
Did you say fast, fun, and easy?
I did.
I love fast, fun, and easy.
How much coffee have you had today?
Did you say coffee?
Oh...
Top prize odds vary by game.
Belmont Chiropractic and Novotny Nutrition and Wellness specialize in getting rid of people's pain quickly and permanently. For 31 years, they've been extremely successful with advanced techniques in pain relief using spinal adjustments and decompression, detoxification, diet and lifestyle modification, and more. They are fully equipped to handle the most seasonal athlete, weekend warrior, car accidents, strains, sprains, and more. Is there anywhere you're experiencing pain on your body, or are you fighting decreased energy and depression? Consult Belmont Chiropractic and Novotny Nutrition and Wellness first at 402-476-8619.
Are you working in or looking to get into the electrical construction industry? The electrical workers of Local Union 265 are now hiring licensed journeymen and apprentices and are offering great pay and benefits. Call Mike at 402-875-1034 to apply. Start your electrical career today.
Rico here with HIS Auto Care at 70th and Van Dorn, letting you know HIS is a great place to bring your vehicle for service. With superior service, bumper to bumper, we'll treat your vehicle like it's your mother's. Doesn't get any better than that. So call 402-488-8934 and HIS Auto will make you glad you did. 5% off, mention this ad, and for sure your mother will be proud you called. 402-488-8934, HIS Auto Care, 70th and Van Dorn. God bless you.
Gray Diesel and Equipment Services is hiring and seeking motivated applicants. Gray offers a second-to-none benefit package that includes health, dental, vision, 401k, paid vacation, and paid holidays. They offer great pay and tuition reimbursement or a tool purchase program for qualified candidates. It's a fun, friendly team with lots of variety and work assignments, so there's something for everybody. View and apply for their job openings today at grayusa.com or visit them in person just off I-80 and North 56th Street. Come be a part of the Gray difference.
Hi everyone, Kendall Warnock with A1 Automotive in downtown Lincoln. If you're looking for an automotive repair facility you can genuinely trust, we would be grateful for the opportunity to earn your business repairing your vehicle. We have ASE master technicians and qualified to work on a variety of vehicles from Hondas to Porsches, Jaguars to Toyotas, and Chevrolets to Fords. We pride ourselves on customer service and relationships, and we would be grateful for the opportunity to serve you. Give us a call at 402-477-4660. A1 Automotive, always honest answers.
There's only one place this holiday season to shop for the sports fan in your life and get cash back for slightly used sports items you don't need anymore. Play It Again Sports. Check out their selection of new and used items, including home fitness equipment like treadmills, exercise bikes, and ellipticals. And get your lift with free weights, benches, and racks to add to your home gym. And don't forget, if you have anything slightly used to trade in, they'll give you instant cash. Holiday shopping starts and ends at Play It Again Sports at 48th and Vine.
This is James Harrell with NP Dodge Real Estate. When I became a licensed realtor, I wanted a brokerage that would help me grow in my new career. I found that in Lincoln First Realty. When Lincoln First was acquired by NP Dodge, the training and support I received only got better. I love knowing I have the power of the NP Dodge brand behind me. I would recommend NP Dodge to new agents looking to jumpstart their real estate career and to current agents who want to take their business to the next level.
Expand your career with NP Dodge. Call Eric at 402-434-2222.
Gaina Trucking is hiring CDL Class A and B drivers. Gaina Trucking guarantees a 40-hour work week year-round, and their strong team culture makes it not a job, but a career. Gaina Trucking offers health, vision, and dental insurance, 401k with company match, an employee assistance program, and other bonus programs. Build a better career today with great team culture at Gaina Trucking. Learn more and apply today at GainaTrucking.com.
When you're high, you feel different. You think different, you talk different, you draw different, you listen to music different, but you probably knew that. Problem is, you also drive different, and not in a good way. That's why driving high is illegal everywhere. So if you're high, just don't drive. Make a plan to get a sober ride. Because if you feel different, you drive different. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
You're listening to The Breeze with DP and Haas on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
All right, welcome back into The Breeze. I am Harrison on the ones and twos. As always, the host of the show, Haas, streaming in, as well as potentially another guest as well here shortly. But nonetheless, Haas on the second segment. What do you want to break down, man?
So we were talking about verticals and how that 5'7" girl had a 36, 37-inch vertical. And I was saying how I'm a girl dad and jumping's so important to me. So this is something that DP's little favorite 8-year-old athlete does. She's in the room next to me. So bring her on there real quick. Go ahead, Mia. Show them the jumping machine. Awesome.
She'll be jumping 40 inches by the time she's done with that. For max amount of reps there. No break.
She'll go for a minute or two straight as fast as she can. But cool. Thumbs up. Thanks, Mia.
Yeah, perfect example by Mia. And I'll tell you what, those vertical machines, those are always hit and miss. But what's that one you got there? Because I can see how that one becomes effective. Because I've seen some in high school. We had one called the. I'm not even going to say the name just in case. I don't know what possible future sponsors look like. But we had this vertical machine, and it was garbage. It was basically, here's a bunch of bands that you tie onto yourself. They quote unquote are supposed to improve your vertical by it. It was worthless. Basically, you're better off just doing box jumps. That's what I did. That's how I got my vertical up. It was not using the overly priced machine. But that one you had there seemed effective. What was that one?
It doesn't matter. The point is, if you put in the work, I'm sure that 5'7" kid, because volleyball players are 6'1", 6'2", that kid put in the work. But we were talking about incentivizing and making things fun, decentivizing and making things fun. 700 million sounds pretty fun. 700 million. Dodgers got it.
Shohei Ohtani?
Yeah, buddy. Yeah, buddy.
Oh man, sad that it's the Dodgers, but I'm so glad I don't have to watch him waste his career away at the Angels anymore. That felt even worse. Like I not like I want him on the Dodgers, but that's better than watching one of the most unique star players we've had in the MLB for a long time be on an Angels team that wasn't going anywhere.
In the words of Goldberg, who's next? Because that's not the only signing that's coming. It's gonna be another pitcher, another Japanese player or two, Mike Trout. There's going to be more players coming to LA. They are going to be that baseball team on The Simpsons that Mr. Burns had, where he was like, your sideburns are too long, you have to cut them. And Don Mattingly's sideburns were like up to here, and he's like, no, you have to cut them. He had Ken Griffey Jr., Barry Bonds, he had everyone. That's who the Dodgers are going to be next season.
So you're saying Dodgers put it in now, MLB favorite?
They need some pitching. They have no pitching. They're all hurt.
Mm-hmm. Who would you grab for pitchers? If you had your choice, who's available right now?
If they can get Blake Snell,
yeah,
that would be amazing. If they can trade for Glass now, that would be amazing. There's so much they can do. I would love one of the Japanese pitchers.
Yeah.
And then later on, Walker Buehler shows up. They're going to limit his innings after 2 Tommy John surgeries. So if he could start pitching in June because they want to ramp him up for the playoffs, you add that guy to your roster.
Sounds like 49ers-esque, right? We'll just add this guy, and pretty soon we have a monster of a team. And real quick, since we have thoughts on it, what were your thoughts on the 49ers absolutely beating down the Eagles last week? Like, how much confidence does that give you? Are you going to ride that confidence, or do you think that's an Eagles team coming off a short week from an overtime game as well, to where you're like, oh, we'll see here. We don't feel like we got the Eagles' best shot? Or how much confidence does that give you in your 49ers team?
So when people talk to me about the 49ers, I would mention when Trent Williams has played, the 49ers are undefeated. Because when Trent Williams wasn't playing, when he was injured, there was always 3 pass rushers in front of Brock Purdy.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know who can do, when you see what Mahomes did when he didn't have an offensive line in the Super Bowl. They got destroyed to the Bucs. So if you have no offensive line, and the 49ers offensive line is actually really weak, the Eagles probably have the best offensive line in football. The way I saw Lane Johnson just dominate and not let Bosa do much. The Eagles have a very strong offensive line. The Eagles wide receivers are better than the 49ers. They are. The Eagles defense. Hold on. Yeah. AJ Brown is the best receiver of the 6 receivers.
I don't think it's like a landslide thing. I'm breaking it down here, but I think it's close. Okay, fair enough. Go ahead.
You're telling me you wouldn't rather have Brown, Devontae Smith, and Julio Jones?
Yeah, I'm probably taking Eagles.
Okay.
You shouldn't mind there. On the surface, it sounds blasphemous, but if you actually break it down, yeah, Eagles wide receiver core is pretty top to bottom strong.
Center. Best center in football by far.
Yeah, no question there.
The Niners have Trent Williams. Trent Williams equals a whole offensive line. But the right side of the Niners offensive line is not good. Their center is average. The left guard is decent. Now they have Christian McCaffrey, who, when used the way he's being used, is maybe the best player in football right now. That is the difference. But Swift, when he's used in the Eagles system, he does his job. So there's so much talent in Philadelphia. Their defensive line, their cornerbacks, they have Pro Bowl cornerbacks.
Yeah, they do.
Now what's missing is the middle linebackers of Philadelphia. They looked really weak. The Niners middle linebackers, as long as they're not being unfairly thrown out of the game, they're pretty good.
Yeah. I'm with you there. I still think I like the Eagles are still, it's between the Eagles and 49ers is my favorites, and it's going to be a matchup of styles. That's why I'm a little worried about the Eagles taking such a beatdown, because you pointed out that middle linebacker group was getting killed by the 49ers. And
The difference between the 49ers and the Eagles, and we talked about this in August, and you guys made fun of me. The audience said mute his mic, take the Kool-Aid away, whatever it was. The Niners have a better quarterback than the Eagles. The Niners have a better quarterback than the Eagles. I wish there were stats to show it. I wish people could listen to Kurt Warner, because he actually did it and he knows it.
Mm-hmm.
In the Eagles game, there were 3 short passes that went to touchdowns. Yes, Debo caused that. During the season, there was a lot of plays that Purdy did himself, creating openings and going downfield. He caused them himself. It wasn't the 5-yard passes that I thought they brought him in for over 17 games ago. That's what I thought they did. I thought they were going to bring a Mac Jones type person to just be accurate and be safe. And I'm like, whoa, wait, this guy's not safe. This guy's throwing crazy into double coverage passes, but he's making them happen. There was the Seahawks game on Thanksgiving. He threw a ball into 4 people.
I know exactly what throw you're talking about.
Threw a ball into 4 people.
It was about as ballsy as Austin Reeves taking the 3 and that Suns game. It was about that simple. It was like, whoa.
If you got picked off, then the Seahawks are back in this game. Oh, you're just gonna nope, game's over. Game's over. You're just gonna throw this into 4 people, game's over. And so that's the difference between Purdy and the people I've seen in San Francisco be quarterbacks. Jimmy G would have thrown a pick six, 100%. Pick six. And then he would have broken his ankle.
That or his wide receiver would have maybe caught the ball, but he's leaving with a broken rib.
Correct.
I'll be honest. You called it. It's not you. It's the jerseys behind you. That's why you get a lot of the hate. It's not your takes. When you're a Lakers, Dodgers, and of course now being a 49ers fan, most people aren't going to want to agree with you.
Since I was 6.
Yeah.
That jersey is probably 30 years old, whatever side it's on. It's probably 30 years old.
Yeah, too good for too long. And it's just a bitter Chicago fan, thin out and through. So that's why there's a lot of bitterness coming out. But no, you're absolutely right. And the argument that it was yards after the catch is totally dead in the water, because you said in that Thanksgiving game, he's not taking safe throws all the time. Yeah, he'll take the safe throws if it's there and it's open. But if he can put the pressure on you, he's a good enough quarterback to throw a dot. Pretty much all the arguments against Purdy are gone at this point. Like, even if you do want to go with the yards after the catch, it's just a straight up lie, because the numbers will show you he's throwing a lot through the air. It's not just reception after the catch. Like, early on, you could make that argument. Now the numbers, if you try to go that same route, trying to diss Brock Purdy, the numbers will call you a straight out liar. He's doing everything in his power to really be that guy. And I'm surprised by Brock Purdy. I didn't think, after last season, I didn't think I was seeing a fluke. I think I was seeing peak performance from Purdy, but that just might be Purdy. I was expecting him to still be a decent quarterback, but not operate at that undefeated regular season clip he was at. He didn't take a step off. He's going to be a serious problem for years to come, because, I mean, how old is he? He can't even be above 25 yet.
He's a second-year guy. I don't know.
Yeah.
So to me, it doesn't matter. He has at least 12, 14 years left if he's healthy.
It's just incredible, and he's a guy you got to watch. The Jets, they're in a bit of a dire situation.
Hold on. Go back to him real quick.
Yeah, go for it.
Okay, fine. Purdy's not that good. Purdy's not great. What do you want him to improve? Tell me what you want him to improve. Be his coach. Those haters out there.
Is great. Oh, okay. If I'm playing devil's
No. Those haters out there. If you're a football coach, a football guru, what's the thing that you want him to get better at?
John says system fits the quarterback. He's a 49ers fan. I don't think he's saying that as a diss. I think he's just saying that's good coaching from the 49ers, getting a system where it's perfect for him. But let me play devil's advocate here, because I think the haters are going to be quiet for the right reasons. There's a, what can he do better? You watch him a lot. Is there anything that you see that you really think he can do better?
No.
Off the top of my head, he's not making any boneheaded decisions. Maybe he can be a little quicker on reads, but for the most part, like, that's a reach.
No. Reads is his number one thing. Reads is his number one. No, his number one skill is the way he
presence.
Is the way he reads the game. Is Kurt Warner, Tom Brady-esque. So no. If there was a Hail Mary situation, then I wouldn't pick him first to be my quarterback. There's probably 20 other quarterbacks I would pick in a Hail Mary situation. So there you go. He can't throw a ball 80 yards down the field. But you know what? Steve Young couldn't do it either. So when I was a kid and I watched those little quarterback competitions where they would take 6 quarterbacks and they would do different skills, they'd have moving targets and deep throws and things on the run. And I don't know if you know what I'm talking about, but they'd have all these little skills competition. Steve Young would never win. He was the MVP with the highest QBR and highest QB rating, and they didn't have QBR back then, but he would have definitely had it.
Mm-hmm.
And he moved well, he ran well, and Steve Young was always in the middle or last. I'm sure Ryan Leaf was the best at those things. Who?
Hey, everyone knows your boy Leaf. Come on now. But yeah, the skills competition, that doesn't... to me, I always look at the skills competition like the NBA. Like, if you win the NBA skills competition, like, who freaking cares? Like, do it in a game. That's where the real challenge is. But we do got to go to break here. I do want to get to this comment off YouTube. Go ahead, Haas.
The tangent for the NBA, and we talked about salaries, and I want to make sure to remember this. The salary for the in-season tournament worked. The compensation worked. The dunk contest used to be a thing. If you want the dunk contest to be a thing, $1, $2, $5 million for the winner, $1 million for joining. That's how you make the dunk contest better. You clearly saw what happened in the in-season tournament. So if you want a dunk contest, it could be whatever cars you want, whatever soda you want, whatever shoes you want would be the sponsors. There'll be a lot of money invested if you had the 4 best dunkers in the NBA. So after the break, we'll figure out which 4 dunkers we'd want and how much money we'd give them to come do it. And we know that's something that it would be a hot ticket item to be at after the break.
Yeah, and I do want to get to this before we talk about this because Donald, he has a great question, Haas, and I'm sure you'd love to answer this one. He says, speaking of taking leaps and bounds, we're talking about volleyball. He said CM Punk's promo on SmackDown was so much better than the one on Raw. What are your thoughts? And then we'll go
now. So giving him time was number one. So that was cool in itself, and he alluded to it. He was himself. So you want to allow CM Punk to be himself. So CM Punk on NXT was really cool, coming out with the Bret Hart sweatshirt and coming and doing HBK type moves and doing a selfie with HBK because he's mocking that, hey, people in the backstage are like, oh my God, I get to be around the guy that I used to watch on the screen. And like, I idolize CM Punk. Well, I idolize HBK. And his way of saying, hey, look, if HBK and the Heartbreak Kid could mend fences, then CM Punk and Triple H can mend fences. And so for him to come out, and we talk about what storylines are going to happen 12 months, 15 months, 18 months in the future, and that's how they're written. Well, he went and, hey, is it going to be the Canadian guy, Kevin Owens? Is it going to be him? And can I throw in some stuff at AEW and say, well, you probably shouldn't be punching people backstage? He talked about the tribal chief and how he said his words there, and he talked about Jey Uso, he talked about Seth Rollins. So there was listening to the crowd to see which got the best reactions, but also these are the storylines for the next 12 to 15 months. Be ready for it, and I'm going to be here, and you're going to have your popcorn ready, and he might even say, where are the ice cream bars, because that's what he said in 2011, and it's really exciting to watch. My wife's like, is he going to wrestle? It's like, we don't need to watch him wrestle. We just need to hear him on a microphone, and giving him 10, 11 minutes on a microphone definitely was what was needed for him to be in WWE. We didn't need to hear him for 1 minute, 2 minutes, need to just hear the crowd, need to see him hug someone in the crowd. Hearing CM Punk, is he going to say something bad about AEW? Oh, he said something about Cody Rhodes. Yes, that means there's going to be a Cody Rhodes match. Oh, hey, Roman Reigns, you think you're a Paul Heyman guy? I am the original Paul Heyman guy. That means CM Punk, Paul Heyman, special guy in the middle, Roman Reigns, winner gets Paul Heyman. Paul Heyman screws over Roman Reigns. Paul Heyman goes with CM Punk. That's going to happen. And we're all going to witness it, and we're all going to want it. So that's what was the promo.
Absolutely. And well said there. And shout out to Donald for being locked in throughout the show there. Great read on that. CM Punk's promo, definitely pretty awesome compared to the one on SmackDown. But nonetheless, we'll go ahead and throw it to our final break here. Or excuse me, to Raw. But we'll throw it to our final break here on The Breeze. We got Haas streaming in as always, the host. You guys are always welcome to join on the text line. John and Cortland will get to yours on the other side. Don't go anywhere. We got one more segment.
Bagels and Joe is the perfect place for breakfast or lunch in December. Try the Cubano panini with ham, applewood smoked pork loin, and more. Order a caramel latte this month, and 10% of proceeds will go to the Apace Foundation. 4 locations in Lincoln and 1 in Seward. Bagels and Joe.
Landmark Implement, your local John Deere dealer, invites you to attend our upcoming Parts and Service Expo events. It's the best time to buy parts all year. Take advantage of specials December 6th through the 15th with additional savings the day of your local expo. Find savings on oil and filters, gifts for under the tree, and most pre-ordered John Deere parts. Visit with our trained and certified technicians and sign up for our service specials. Don't miss out. It only comes around once a year at your local Landmark Implement. Visit landmarkimp.com/events for a complete schedule of our expo events and experience the Landmark difference.
Ready to make this season unforgettable? Celebrate with Liberty First Credit Union's low-rate debt consolidation loan. Combine all those bills into one affordable monthly payment with quick access to funds. Imagine all the extra cash for holiday shopping sprees, festive parties, or that well-deserved vacation. Stop by any of their branches or visit libertyfirstcu.com to find out more about their low-rate debt consolidation loan. Make this holiday season one to remember and celebrate with Liberty First Credit Union, banking with purpose.
If your car has sent you to the sidelines, Eustace Body Shop can help. With gold-class certified technicians, OEM parts, and free loaner cars, Eustace Body Shop is your best choice this Husker season. And with 6 locations across central and eastern Nebraska, we've got you covered, whether you're rooting at home or you're headed to Memorial Stadium. Get a free online quote at EustaceBodyShop.com, and let's get you back in the game.
The most recommended Eustace Body Shop. That's who we are.
Houses? They're expensive. And once you buy one, you're kind of stuck with it for a while. You need to make sure you get your best house for the best price. You need Ben Bleicher and his team of pros at Professional Realty Group. They'll take the time to figure out what's important for you in your dream home, and they have the expertise to find the hidden issues that could surprise you after the sale. That's professional knowledge, proactive service. We call that potential. Ben Bleicher and the team at Professional Realty Group of Berkshire Hathaway's home service ambassador. Find more online at prg-ne.com. Sunday morning. It's quiet, not in a weird, too quiet way. Calm, peaceful, tranquil. You pour yourself that cup of coffee. You slice yourself a hearty chunk of one of Beatrice Bakery's breakfast breads. Now, maybe you're an apple streusel guy. Nothing wrong with that. I can respect that. Personally, I'm a turtle nut man. Something about those pecans. But the real ones know, don't sleep on that date nut bread. Sweet, but not too sweet. Nutty, not overly. The perfect morning treat. Beatrice Bakery. Online at beatricebakery.com. Welcome to our world of yum.
Finally, a good reason to have a smart house. Just say, Alexa, play 93.7 The Ticket, and we'll magically start playing. How's it work? Nobody knows. Don't ask questions.
Rashawn Jackson here for Bauer Infrastructure, a veteran-owned local company proudly serving Lincoln, Lancaster County, and the surrounding areas. Bauer provides quality work at an affordable price, and they're growing rapidly. If you want to experience a career with a fast-paced, family-friendly environment, visit BauerInfrastructure.com. They have top-of-the-line benefits, year-round work, even through the winter. Bauer, usher in the new era of infrastructure to an area near you. And as always, go Big Red!
The holidays are right around the corner. This is a great year to give your family and loved ones the gift of shoes to encourage them to stay active. Fleet Feet Lincoln fits you properly for shoes, and they offer a free group that meets 3 days a week, plus other training programs and a walking group on Mondays. Get healthy, stay healthy with proper shoe wear from Fleet Feet Lincoln and a group of friends that will support you and keep you accountable. Start your health adventure at Fleet Feet Lincoln at 77th and Pioneers.
Where will your path take you, traveler? To seek fortune in a new career? Or on a journey to distant lands for a well-deserved vacation? Wherever you go, one distraction could spell disaster. You can change your fate, adventurer. Don't drive distracted. Paid for by the NDOT Highway Safety Office.
Hi, Sean Callahan here of HuskerOnline.com, inviting you to join us here on 93.7 The Ticket every Saturday morning now in our new time. We're on from 8 to 9 with the weekly Husker Online radio show. We'll give you the latest in recruiting. We'll talk about what's going on with both football, basketball, and we'll probably share a few stories from the inside. It's every Saturday morning right here on 93.7 The Ticket. It's the Husker Online radio show from 8 to 9 a.m.
You're listening to The Breeze with DP and Haas on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
All right, welcome back into The Breeze. Final segment before we get to the Nico Project here at 93.7 The Ticket on Ticket Weekends. And again, always stop by 1040 O Street, get yourself a cup of coffee, enjoy the Christmas decorations, and stay warm as it is starting to get a little more brisk out there. But nonetheless, Haas, you said something along the lines of us fixing the NBA dunk contest, something that used to be so awesome that now at times can be forgettable, especially if you ask people who won the dunk contest. A lot of people can't even tell you anymore. That's how bad it's gotten.
100%.
So you put money
going
into
on it,
it?
or you want to go to the text that you had?
Yeah, real quick here, just John and Cortland. We don't have to go too much on it. He says, John and Cortland, he's a 49ers fan, but he says the Lakers, Dodgers, man, I used to kind of like you. Niners are saving grace. That's what I'm talking about. The jersey, it's the teams you root for, Haas. It's not you.
I can't help it. My father came here from Iran in 1976 and didn't follow American sports. And all the teams that I liked They were champions in 1988. I was 6 years old.
I
stuck
got to
with
talk
it.
to my family and be like, what the hell? Why'd you sign me up for this? This has been a nightmare. But you know what? I had a point at one point in time. I think if I would have dipped out when I was younger, no one would have noticed. But yeah, I'm here now. And there's bitterness when you just for anyone who's a Chicago fan in general, it's not great around the board. I don't watch much hockey, but I don't even think the Blackhawks are what they used to be. So it's it's a tough go these days. But we were talking about the dunk contest. You're like, hey, winner gets $1 million, maybe $2 million. I think that would definitely help. Does that fix the creative problem we're seeing in the dunk contest? Because I think that's the challenge. Is like, man, we've seen just about every possible variation at this point.
Who would you like to see in the dunk contest?
I think it would still be cool if you could get one more LeBron James dunk contest, just because it's awesome. I still think when he goes up there, when he decides to put his athleticism on display, he can still throw some crazy dunks down. Zion Williamson, I would love for him to do it. He's such a massive, he just doesn't want to do it for obvious reasons. Because if you don't win the dunk contest, it's almost a, shame on you type of thing if you're Zion, and there's nothing in it for really winning the dunk contest. Zion's a guy that I would love to see do it. I'd be curious what it looked like if you just threw Bol in there just because. Just a giant out there. But I think it would just get some of the guys that we never get to see actually do it, like the actual superstars, your LeBron James. I would love to see, even when a guy like DeMar DeRozan still has in the bag in a dunk contest. But you could get the freak athletes, and if there's enough money, they'd be down to do it. But a guy like Zion just sticks out right away because he's like the perfect candidate for the dunk contest, or even John Morant for that matter. He didn't do it for the exact same reason.
He's first. John Morant comes first.
Mm-hmm.
LeBron kind of came first just because you want to actually see him in a slam dunk contest, and you didn't get the opportunity to do it. He's not as good of a dunker as he was 15 years ago, but just
still
so
want to
he's
see it.
There, you want to see it. Zion, is he going to bust a shoe? How much is he going to weigh?
That's a problem right now. I don't know if you've seen Zion late.
Is he going to be distracted before the slam dunk contest and go hang out with people before the slam dunk contest? Do we bring Levine and Gordon back? So those would be two people you bring back, even though it's a decade later, they still can dunk the crap out of the ball. So those are some people we'd want to see. Who else?
Even Donovan Mitchell, I think, would be good. He's
definitely
a high flyer.
Donovan Mitchell. Definitely Donovan. Yeah. Now it's got to be a 8-person tournament like the baseball tournament. You get a million for coming, and $2 million for winning. Extra $1 million for winning, so $2 million.
We do have Crowbait from the text line saying Princess James extremely overrated. So I don't know if you'd want to watch that dunk contest. But I
don't like LeBron, but I'm sorry, he just took over that in-season tournament.
Yep.
I don't like how he shoots. I don't like how he complains. There's a lot of things I don't like about him, but for whatever reason, he does turn it on in the playoffs. So this was important to him.
What do you think about the Udoka LeBron scuffle not too long ago, where Udoka pretty much said, stop using the stop B word to all the players out there? LeBron confronts him saying, hey, stop saying that. And then Udoka doubles down and like, what? What do you come over here to say nothing to me? Did you catch that whole interaction where they both got teed up?
I did. It's the same thing as the Eagles person, but the Eagles person was worse. As a coach, you have no right to get into a fight with the other team's player. That's just unacceptable. So, no. I know these are grown men, but no. Deal with your own team there. You don't need to instigate things with LeBron. As a security personnel, you shouldn't be touching another player. I'm not saying this as a 49er fan. Now everyone thinks they have the right to do it. Now, thankfully, it's been de-escalated between the Niners and the Eagles, and they say he's a good person, and he's only hopefully going to be suspended for a game. And by suspended, it's just can't be on the sideline for a game. There was a kid who took a picture of Tyreek Hill or held his camera, and he now is not allowed to go to NFL games on the field anymore.
That's messed up because they're friends too. They shot content together before he was even involved in the NFL, which is really unfortunate for that kid.
He held a camera for a celebration. This security dude caused a person to be ejected from a game by touching him. If a player went on the field, if a fan went on the field and touched a player, And the player was like, "Don't touch me. Don't touch me."
Mm-hmm.
That's a natural reaction. But, oh, okay, because he's wearing Eagles clothes. Oh, because he's the head of security. It doesn't matter who he is. He was not a football player. He could have been a coach, and that's not allowed. So back to Udoka. No, you do not get into it with the player. If the refs heard it, and the ref was standing right there. The ref standing right there.
The ref messed up, in my opinion. The ref, what are you doing? Break that up. He just sat there and listened to the two go at each other and then teed him up.
He's probably curious instead of giving a double. I would have given the penalty should have been more for Udoka, but that's not, I don't like LeBron. You guys, I'm a Kobe fan. I do not like LeBron. He's annoying. He flops. He cries. Like, I don't like LeBron. But as a coach, you do not go and instigate things with a player.
I had your exact same thoughts, Haas. I don't think you should ever do that as a head coach, but I'd be lying if I say I didn't enjoy watching that. It was a unique encounter, and hearing someone just go bat to bat for LeBron saying, "What are you going to do about it?" That's new. You don't see that too much, especially for a feisty Rockets team led by the one and only Dylan Brooks. It was entertaining. It fit the dynamic of that roster perfectly. But that's going to be it for the Breeze. You guys were great all show long. Appreciate you guys texting in. Shout out to Donald for all the fact checking. But we got to get out of here. Enjoy the rest of the Sunday Ticket weekends. We got the Nego Project up next.
93.7 The Ticket.
Gaina Trucking is hiring CDL Class A and B drivers. Gaina Trucking guarantees